Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This weekend was a Woodward Dream Cruise and took the olds out there, did a nice smoky burnout. There's a video of it on Facebook if you want to check it out. It's on my Facebook page, Glenn Cotis. I went to the drag strip about 3 weeks ago, made about 3 passes. We'll go over that. I drove the car there without issue. I didn't really use my GPS to see how fast I was going, but I was doing like 3,000, 3,300 RPMs, and car seemed to run good, and it really didn't get too bad a gas mileage, 10, 11, somewhere in that area. So got to the track. I put the slicks on the car. I was running a set of used 29 and a half by 9 Hoosier slicks on Chevy Rally wheels. Car went 170, 60 foot, and 1195 at 110 in the quarter. The eighth mile was 755. I was very impressed and excited when I got that time slip. I was like, my goal was 1199, and it was the first decent pass on the car. I put a two-step in there, and I was leaving at 2,500 RPMs, and it worked good on that pass. So, like I said, I was quite happy with that. I drove home without incident and used about a half a tank, a little bit more, 6 gallons from Lapeer Dragway to East Point, which is just north of Detroit. Um, I couldn't have been happier with the car for the second outing. The first time I ran 1533 on the first pass, I had Nitto drag radials on it. It just blew those off. So my buddy Al lent me his 29 by 9, 28 by 9 Mickey Thompson tires, and I ran 1274 with the car getting out of it about 1,000 feet. I wasn't sure how good it would stop. I built it myself, so you always gotta be careful of stuff like that. It's a lot easier to stop from 100 than it is from 110. So I was just being safe. It was a shakedown pass. So after that first time out, I was leaving off the converter and it was like way too high. I also threw a set of no hop bars on there because I was experiencing wheel hop with the slicks on there. I went up to make a third pass that day, and the car was leaking oil, and I tried to get that fixed, and eventually I did. All it was the oil pan bolts needed to be snugged up a little bit. I don't know if they vibrated from driving or what the problem was, but tighten the bolts up did the trick. So I was dreading taking the motor out to repair that, and turns out I didn't have to. So I purchased the MSD box for the car. I'd be using it with the GM HEI and also two steps, so I could be a little more mellow on the launches instead of leaving on the converter. So I had that stuff installed, and it seemed to like the changes I made. The second and third passes when I went out a month ago, one was 12:13 and the other one was 12:15 or so. The first pass, the second pass, I don't think I was quite lined up in the groove right, and kind of hiccuped, like the timing was retarded or something, and still had a 170 60 foot, and it ran 12:13. I can't remember the mile per hour on that, but I came back and threw some timing at it. It was at 35 degrees. I turned it up to 37, and also I turned the launch RPM from 25 to 2,700 RPMs. It took off. It took off better than the second pass, and still did a little wiggle when I was near second gear shift, and so I short shifted the car, and that's probably why it ran slower than the 1213. But the 60 foot was 173 on that pass, so either the tires are gone or it just didn't like the extra RPM of leaving there. So um, that brings me to some changes I'm gonna make. It's getting really close to drag week. It's 3 weeks from tomorrow, or it's 3 weeks from today. Sorry, I'm a little tired. It's been a long weekend. I have for the car Edelbrock Performer RPM intake. The reason I'm changing to that from the single plane is the power range of the camshaft is from 2500 to 6500, and the power range of the 454 Victor O, which is on the cars, from 4 to 8,000 RPMs, I believe. I can use any torque I can get as long as the car will hook up. When you're making a pass and the car gets deep in the third gear, you can feel the intake starting to kick in the power range. So that's an indication to me that you can use that extra power of the dual plane down low. So I have that. I ordered a Cone 9.5-inch billet stator torque converter, and it's already here. It's ready to be put in. Also, I have Jegs brand adjustable upper rear control arms, Jegs brand lower adjustable control arms. I have a BMR sway bar to put on the back, and it's to help with the G body shuffle or A body shuffle, whatever you want to call it. This car picks up the driver's side tire a couple inches. Hopefully, we can make that even out a little bit. If it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal. That could be why the car pulled right on the pass that I made out of the groove. So I just thought of that while we're talking here. Another reason why I got a converter is because my reaction times on the 400 Pro Tree were all in the low 200s, and that's not going to win you any races for sure. Bracket or heads up, definitely not heads up, because you gotta have the fastest car to win it, and it's not this, that's for sure. Other things, I got a 342 gear to replace the 430 in there. I hope that doesn't hurt me too bad, but I drove the car to work on Friday and was turning 3,800 RPMs at 70 miles per hour. There's no way I could endure that, let alone the car for 11 or 1,200 miles, however long the trip is. So we need to get that in check. I was planning on putting taller tires on it and just driving a little bit slower, but I mean, over 280 miles, if you're driving at 55 miles an hour opposed to 70, you're adding quite a bit of time to your trip. So, not to mention fuel economy will suffer a little bit. So I got that. Eaton True Track unit for the back. It already has a posi unit in there, and a set of axles, Moser axles. I kind of shopped around and got deals on the stuff off of Marketplace. I probably got half the cost of the parts in there. I also picked up a set of Mickey Thompson ET Street 275 Pro drag radials. I have another set in the house too, so for backup from my buddy Steve. Those are on the car right now. I took the car for a ride around the block today with those on there. They seem pretty nice. The one thing that they ripped on me about Tech when I was at Lapeer Dragway was my windshield's cracked, so I need to get that repaired. There's a few other things that need to be addressed. Also, safety first. My cutoff switch doesn't shut the car off. I know why that is. They got the alternator wired to the main power of the car, so it still runs off the alternator even when you kill a switch. So I got cable to run from my battery switch to the alternator, so it has nothing. It's totally independent of the wiring in the car. And when you hit the switch, it shuts off. Courtesy of work, it was nice of them to hook me up with that. I have the new windshield. We just have to install it. I got a list here of all the stuff. Wheel studs. I need wipers in case it rains on the trip. I got a wiper motor from O'Reilly's. I still have a stock horn. That's a rule. I'm gonna put it on there. If it works, it works. If it don't, what are they gonna say? I run a power wire to it and touch it to ground. I don't care. Gotta get that windshield installed. Also, I need a cup holder. When I was going out to Woodward yesterday with the manual valve body and the trans, trying to hold the coffee, steer, and shift at the same time, it wasn't very pleasant, and it made me drink my coffee a lot faster than I would have normally. So we need to get a cup holder in there. That's gonna be a necessary for the trip for sure, because I love my Tim Hortons. We went over the converter, we went over the intake, we went over the gear change, we went over the control arms and the sway bar in the back. Hood scoop. I got a hardwood hood scoop. If you follow me on Facebook, Glenn Cotis, or Instagram, Cotis Bros Customs, I got a hardwood hood scoop that I bought and customized for the car. It was too wide. It looked like it was for a Mustang style scoop, and I narrowed the back of the scoop probably 3 inches to better fit the styling in the car and look good on the hood. And, I got that glued back together and a little bit of the body work done on that. I need to cut the hood out and mold it in. That's one of the projects on the list for this week. Also, I plan to cut the front springs and probably just the coil. I don't want to do a coil and a half. It might be too low after that. I'm just going to do the coil and deal with it after this deal. I will trim it more if I need to, but really I'm going to start on another frame. So this is kind of just a band-aid for the meantime. Well, I got a lot of this stuff written down here twice. So car needs a set of fresh plugs. The ones that are in there are the first set from when I put the car together. It still runs good. It runs clean up through the RPMs and shifts good and all that stuff. So I'm going to try to get a new set of rims for the car. I did a tire fitment, and I got the width and backspace of the wheels on the car, and I know I can't go any more backspace than what's on there. So if I go to order wheels, we'll not get the wrong size the first time and have to send them back, or they give you a hard time about that. They definitely don't want you to mount tires on them. If you mount tires, you bought them. So I don't want to go through any of that with the time crunch we got going on. It may end up going with these. We'll see. I gotta check my finances and see all that stuff. I'm gonna change the trans fluid. I've never done that. I'd like to add a trans temperature gauge and possibly an electric fan. This converter I got, it's a little bit more stall than what I was running. Hopefully it's a tighter converter though, so I can keep the heat down in the trans. I don't want to burn that up. I paid a lot of money for that, even though it was secondhand. I need to nut and bolt the whole car, tighten everything up, and make sure it's not going to fall apart on me. I probably do it once or every time I get a chance on the trip. Just go over nuts and bolts. You don't need parts falling off your car while you're going down the track or down the road for that matter. It's not good if you have a wheel fall off. You're going 70 miles an hour. So 3 weeks seems a little bit hectic of a schedule to get all this stuff. I'm gonna take a good look at the list and prioritize what I can do quickly and what needs to be done and what has to be done and go from there. Very much looking forward to this. Car runs good. I drove it to Lapeer. I raced it. I drove it back. I drove it to work the other day. I drove it out to Woodward, cruised around a little bit, cruised it home. Next day, got up, went right back out to Woodward. Uh, did a little bit of cruising, not much. Did a nice smoky burn out in front of my peoples. So I got a little video of that on my Facebook, like I said earlier, I think, and cruised home and took her out. Tried to get hamburger buns today. That didn't work out. I ended up bringing it back and parking it, backing it in the garage so I can start my list of chores on there. So there's Harper Cruise on Wednesday. I'm gonna try to leave the car together for that. I'll work on the springs, maybe the wipers, and I need to round up some stuff for the intake swap. I need to get a new helmet. Mine's still good, but it's Snell rating for 2000. I'm pretty sure it's expired. It needs to be replaced. And the hood scoop, I can work on that because the hood's off the car. If it's not done, I can just leave the hood off. I took the hood springs off, so it looks pretty cool actually with the hood off. I'm looking forward to all this. It's going to be a tough few weeks, and I'm going to try to keep you guys updated as much as possible. I like to get some driving footage, maybe some racetrack passes, and stuff like that. Something else I would like to get out to test before this goes down one time after I make all these changes, or at least some of them. So that's going to do it for now. Thanks for everybody that asked me where my update videos are. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. The comments, keep them coming. I'll get back to you. And like I always say, if you're not doing it, it's not getting done. Peace.